Jellyman. Human is dead.
We have to stop CERN before they complete their next experiment, Peanut Butter Man.
Human is dead.
Speaking of human is dead, we're the Bittersweet Gamers?
Indeed. We are dead humans, aren't we?
Stab.
It's too late. I'm already dead.
Omae wa mou shinderu.
Oh no!
やったぜ、ケンシロウの飛行をついた。お前はもう死んでいる。3、2、1、0。Oh no!
The plot has certainly kicked in. Let's see where it takes us.
Mini black hole generation mission already been established. Clearly, we actually found the mustache-twirling, villainous email of evil. I suppose it has to be real or there wouldn't be a game, but still.
国家最高機密
Government secrets, huh? Which government? Who
Well, France, England, and Holland.
セルンは国家機関じゃないはずなのに、なんでだろう
What about the EU? Or what about the other research teams at CERN?
So this is kind of a secret from CERN. Like a deeper level secret than just the organization of CERN.
If it's certain government stuff, like, yeah, this is apparently going to be really complicated.
Good!
Yeah, definitely.
つうか国家機密ってさすがにまずいんじゃね
I think it's a little late for that, Daru, when you decided to hack into their files?
My sentiments exactly.
構わん詳細を調べろ
And remember how Mayuri was like, you shouldn't do things that are bad?
Yeah.
She's the one who has paid for all of the silliness so far, but with the destruction of her food and the loss of things that she likes. So...
Mayuri has paid for their sins. She's Steins Gate Jesus.
Oi! She's definitely going to be paying for this too, I'm sure.
いやいやバレたらただじゃ済まんしお前はハッキングで足がつくような無能なのか
And it cut to her when he said, if we get caught, we won't be let off with an apology.
Stuff like that is not random.
And you did say that, like your little theory about in one world line, Mayuri dies, and the other one, it's Makise.
そうならないようにはしてるだったら何も問題はない
That's assuming that the organization, like, generating many black holes and conspiracy to rule the world or whatever, doesn't have the ability to detect a hacker.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
But it's possible if they focused all their energies on being a secretive organization that can generate many black holes.
They focused on that part of the tech tree and not, like, security defense.
Yeah, so, you know, that's possible too.
そりゃどうも
Daru makes a slightly awkward face as he takes the file about the Z program and feeds it into the translation software.
5月14日第137次 Z プログラム実験レポート
137th, jeez.
I have to say, the red text, you know, it said in
That was
English...
the error, human is dead.
Mismatch.
Yeah.
You know what it says?
What does it say?
Error. Human is dead. Mismatch.
Wow, that is some translation software.
なおミニブラックホール生成ミッションはすでに確立しているため報告は省く第一に Stop!
This is like the Chuny worldview coming true before his very eyes, isn't it?
Well, like I was joking in a previous episode, what if in this world line the organization exists?
As opposed to it doesn't
As opposed to it...
It doesn't exist! It doesn't exist in other timelines?
Like in the original world line, it's just him being Chuny. But here his Chuny is reality.
What was the point of divergence that brought him to a place where his Chunibyo delusions are reality? He has to be in a different world line.
Yeah.
But how could he have been warped into a place that is so different? There would have to be a point of divergence. I mean, was it just some random place?
Yeah, I see your point, yeah. But, 0.084576, whatever the percent of divergence was, is like 1.5 million people.
That's true. But couldn't you say that coming to a place like this for such a random reason, we don't know if the reason is random or not, and nor do we really know what is or isn't.
Yeah.
But I mean, couldn't you also have come to a world for no reason that is like ruled by Viggo Mortensen with a monster truck head that breathes fire?
Oh, that sounds amazing.
All I mean by that is if you're going to come to a world where your fantasy is your reality, then why can't you go to a world where a fantasy is a reality? Like, what's the difference in what draws you to one versus the other?
Because that's the main character. That's his narrative prerogative.
What, like, there's no prerogative. It's just random chance. If it were the case where this is a world where the organization exists, but in the other it doesn't.
Right.
Viggo Mortensen with a monster truck head that breathes fire.
You have my axe and my bow and my flames!
All of a sudden, Titor's prediction became a reality.
やはりセルンは LHC を使ったミニブラックホール生成に成功していたのだ。
公式には実験はまだ成功してないって発表されてるのにな。
This is what Titor was referring to when he posted, "Don't believe what they say." Speaking of Titor,
Hey!
there's still the case of Amane Suzuha. She was definitely the person in that satellite, and if she wasn't, I'll eat my hat. And I have plenty of hats, and I'll eat one.
We'll tape it.
Yeah, I'll eat one on camera if I'm wrong about that.
She's a Terminator from the future that's come back in time to find Okabe Rintaro because she knows
That his child is going to save the future?
Well, no, I was going to say that he'll get in touch with John Titor, and through that connection, will hunt him down.
So who does Arnold Schwarzenegger play, the bad guy? Why are we talking so much about Hollywood movies?
Why are we talking about so many Hollywood movies?
そもそも実験の目的は新しい素粒子反応を起こすことであってミニブラックホール生成じゃないし。
Well, it's not like the two are unrelated?
だが実際にはすでにミニブラックホールは生成されている。
Generate new elementary particles. So in other words, they were trying to make Mobile Suit Gundam a reality.
Well, we can't fault them for that.
Yeah.
みたいだな。
その先には何と書いてある？
実験結果エラー。ヒューマンイズデッドミスマッチ。詳細は別紙ゼリーマンズレポートナンバー14を参照。
Jellyman.
リフターの調整および各局所は適合地点をオンラインとして確定できない限り実験は停止するべきと提案する。
Once we stop turning people into jelly.
どういう意味だ？
Oh!
Pretty clearly it means that human is dead!
ヒューマンイズデッドって人が死んだって意味じゃね？
Yes, thank you, Daru.
Very badly, but yes, it does mean that. What do you mean, lifter? It's not like you have to fly to the past.
Well, you do have to propel yourself a certain speed, don't you?
No, you're actually mixing it up with Back to the Future now. Somebody died. Seriously? You mean time travel is dangerous?
No.
I'm not afraid. I'm not. After all, I'm the insane mad scientist, Hoin Kyoma. We can't stop now. I can't control my curiosity. Besides, now that I have proof of their evil deeds, ignoring it would just leave a bad taste in my mouth.
ゼリーマンズレポートというのはなんだ？
A bad taste like a gelbana.
We do have confirmation from multiple teenage girls that it tastes bad.
That must mean it's true.
ジャックさんのメールには見当たらないな。誰かもっと偉い人かサーバー管理者のパスを手に入れないと。
ではそれは後回しだ。タイムマシンについて探してくれ。
さすがに出てこないんじゃね？
Literally 2 seconds later.
After that, Daru spends about 15 minutes fishing through the Accelerator Division Chief's email, but he doesn't find anything about time machines.
加速器技術委員会とか LHC 計画責任者とかって単語が出てきたから、その辺の ID を見当をつけて探すかな。そっちからならもっと突っ込んだ情報が手に入るかもしれんわな。
ジャックさんの ID では調べられないのか？
He just said that, yes.
Daru shakes his head.
では今日のところはこれまでか。
Yes, Daru has been going hard for like 3 days.
ちなみにさ、今見てたのがセルンの一番でかいサーバーなんだけど、実はもう一個妙なデータベースがあったんだよね。
Yeah?
妙というと？
バグってた。
Huh.
Oh, yeah?
Jelly data, perhaps? Like teleported, weird, fragmented data?
The email was chopped up.
Yeah, that's why I say jelly data.
Yeah, jelly data. Excellent.
バグ？
いや、バグっつうか、一応プログラムのコードらしきものは出てくるんだけど。
Oh! You don't say! A code you've never seen before, I imagine. One you might need a specific computer to debug.
Man, if we only had an IBM 5100.
もう意味不すぎてむちゃくちゃっつうか、全くもって解読不能です。本当にありがとうございましたっつうか。
Why don't you go open the window and then yell out, "Oh, this code! If only we had an IBM 5100!" And then like 5 minutes later, there's like, knock, 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 knock. Hi, guys, I brought a pizza. What's going on? She says as she comes in.
No, it's like he leans out the window and she's like got suction cups on her hands clinging to the wall just under the window.
Well, that's where she is. But it's like then she comes in bribing them with stuff.
暗号化されている可能性は？
Yes.
暗号には見えないのだぜ。そもそもプログラムとして成立してないんだよね。ただそんな誰にも見られないようなデータベースがなんで置いてあんのかは気になる。
Connect the dots, please.
Why would an organization like CERN have a database that nobody can access? There may be some initial observations that might be incorrect.
Maybe to prevent like industrial espionage? Doesn't that make sense?
I don't think they're worried about Apple coming in and taking some of their ideas. Though considering what they did to Qualcomm, maybe they should be.
気になるな。
ちょっと解析してみるを。
8:30. Still pretty sunny.
Daru tried every trick in the book to crack that mystery database, but after about an hour of furious typing...
わからん。全然わからん。
He's gonna sleep for a week, man.
He is! He was just like, man, it's time to go take a break. And Okarin is like, do more work. Ah.
Like, why isn't he already working for CERN himself?
こんなん絶対プログラムじゃねえよ、ボケ。死ねカスが。
Oh, great. He snapped because he hasn't slept.
もうやめた方がいいよ。
I agree.
頭もよく回らんし、もう無理。ふへふへ。
Ha.
Maybe I'm pushing him too far.
Nah, I don't bully those around me. You jerk.
He's been up 2 days straight. He's probably at his limit.
ご苦労だった。もう休め、ダル。
ああ、そうするわ。
Daru approves.
He just passes out.
もしこれがバグじゃなくてガチでプログラムだとしても、作ったやつにしかわからんよ。こんなん見たことないし。
A program unlike anything he's seen. It could be something like a cryptographic code that like was used in World War II, say. Like for instance, they used the Navajo.
Right.
Like they did it in Navajo because they thought that language would be basically undecipherable, and it more or less was.
Like if you've got the key, then you got the code.
It's from John Titor.
Hey.
Did he reply to the email I sent him earlier? I haven't told anyone. There's no way you could retain memories from before the reconstruction.
That was a very interesting point. It's like, why does Okarin remember the other world line? And he hasn't mentioned it in the emails. Or in the at-chan.
Everything is changed on the back end. Everything. So, for it to have not been changed is something seriously significant. I gulp.
そうか。今、点が線でつながろうとしているぞ。
何の話？
ジョン・タイター、セル、タイムマシン。
They're all connected!
These things are all connected. And now I have another piece of the puzzle.
ダルよ。もしかするとそのプログラムの正体、判明するかもしれんぞ。
His expressions.
マジでどうやって
Smug Okarin is amazingly smug. It's the smugness of someone who is always delusionally wrong, being proven right. I've been waiting my whole life to tell you that I told you so.
I'd normally say I'm not the kind of person to do that, but I clearly am.
I aim my phone's camera at the screen displaying the supposedly bugged data. Oh, this isn't that dramatic. I thought he was about to pose and, like, selfie himself, being like, an IBM 5100, but instead, he's just taking a picture. It's just the way I was reading it, you know.
It's okay. You can make it as dramatic as you want. This is his moment of being right.
And took a picture! But that's not what he was doing. He was just getting this. I attach it to a message. Does this code look familiar? And send it to Titor.
Knock, 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 knock. Do you guys want some pizza?
Yeah, he's gonna be talking to me now! A mysterious database inside CERN. A program like that... Something, I don't know what it's like. A program unlike anything Super Hacker Daru has ever seen. Its true form is...
Super Hacker Janai!
俺のひらめきが正しければ、ジョン・タイターが知っている。
はあ？それはないわ。
There is in no way anything bad that could happen from attracting the attention of a time traveler who admitted to being a terrorist.
なんとでも言うがいい。答えはすぐに出る。
Though it's only been a few minutes, it feels like an eternity to me.
来た。
I quickly open the mail. Where did you find that? That's written in a proprietary IBM language.
やはりな。
Uh-huh.
やはりって？
ダルよ。俺の予想は正しかった。
You can't go to sleep yet until I brag about how right I was.
Another small thing I underestimated about Rintaro, rather than immediately go into Chuni gloating, he took the picture and verified it.
Well, I mean, he does appear to actually be a scientist, or have a scientific mind at least.
When he bothers to.
When he bothers to.
As long as he bothers to do this stuff, then he's good at it, but he doesn't bother. He just plays around a lot.
Yeah.
You know one of the reasons that he plays around a lot? Because despite the way he looks like he's in his mid-30s, because he's a teenager. He's 18.
Yeah.
Of course he plays around a lot.
Yeah,
like,
duh.
What a wonderful world we live in that 18-year-olds can play around. As they should.
As they should.
判明したぞ。そのプログラムの正体が。
IBN5100
That retro PC has a certain special function. In fact, for more than 25 years after it went to market in 1975, nobody knew of it save a few IBM engineers, and apparently certain segments of female electronics otaku. That function was first brought to light by the John Titor who appeared in 2000. A while after Titor posted about it, an actual IBM engineer admitted to the hidden function's existence. It's not that there was something secret about it, it's just
It never
that
came up. It wasn't relevant.
nobody would ever need it.
Nothing was ever made in that code.
Which reminds me, I talked to Suzuha about this only yesterday.
Big.
APL やベーシックが普及する前に書かれた IBM の独自のプログラミング言語も解読できちゃうのってさ、驚愕だと思わない？今や IBM5100 でしか解読できない失われたプログラミング言語があったりするんだよ。
Man! Yeah, exactly! What an incredible coincidence that the game seems to be making the connections we did at the beginning of the episode.
A prime example of synchronicity at work.
Synchronicity, a meaningful coincidence. Simultaneity, the feeling that two casually unrelated events have a meaningful deterministic relationship. For example, a vase fell and shattered, and at the same time my grandmother died in the hospital. Nearly everyone has felt synchronicity at some point in their lives. A concept advocated by Swiss psychologist Carl Jung, 1875 to 1961. I mean, you see stuff like this all the time in anime, like someone's loved one dies and they're like drinking like out of their favorite coffee cup or something and it cracks or something along those lines.
Right. It makes sense that it's advocated by Jung. How to put this? I thought about this for a sec, and I almost lodged into a big lecture. I won't. This time.
You tease?
Sorry, I've just, over the last few years, gotten more and more interested in Jung. It was like a combination of Persona 5 and Fate Stay Night at the same time.
Oh, I see Damon likes some Jung.
So as I talk about something academic, Billy goes, "Sex joke!"
Daru approves.
Human is dead. It's almost like an almighty will is pulling the strings.
いいな。断じていいなだ。我らにとってこの発見はまさに必然。これこそがシュタインズゲートの選択だということだ。
El Psy Konguru!
Sorry, I didn't have anything else.
つまりセルンは IBN5100 を使ってこのデータベースを構築したって？互換性のないマシンを使って？なんでそんなわけわからんことを？
So it couldn't be hacked for one.
ならば聞くが、外部からのクラッキングに対する最高のセキュリティ方法は何だ？
To make it, well, like, to not have it hooked up.
Yeah!
Like, analog technology is great because you can't interact with it digitally.
Exactly!
Like, modern cars are a mix of analog and digital.
Cracking. In computer terminology, actions including illegal access to network systems and data tampering. Often confused with hacking, but hacking originally means the constructive study of software. Cracking, on the other hand, is a malicious act. Huh, I didn't know that about hacking.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
そりゃスタンドアローンだろ。
Yes, exactly. What Damon just said.
Right, something that you have to, like, that's not connected.
A computer that is not connected to any other computer or network.
Because then it cannot be accessed.
IBN5100 でしか解読できないなら、それは疑似的なスタンドアローンってわけか。
Yeah, sort of.
No, it is. It's neat, isn't it?
It is.
故にそこに眠るのはセルンにとって最重要の機密だということだ。
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to talk about earlier.
Oh.
It's not just put there randomly for
Oh,
no
no,
reason.
yeah.
つか、オーカリンはなんでその隠された機能のこと知ってるん？ソースは？
We didn't have the Titor who explained it, and we didn't have the IBN engineer that confirmed it.
Not in this world line.
Which makes Amane Suzuha that much more suspicious, of course, although there's no point in us being suspicious of her, it's basically confirmed. The power of voice.
When have we ever not been suspicious of anyone, though?
Yeah, you're right.
Suspect everyone, then you're always right.
俺の頭の中に眠る膨大なインデックスに記述されている。どうでも言っておこう。
Librorum prohibitorium? The heck does that mean?
Titor said it himself 10 years ago. But Daru wouldn't believe me even if I told him the truth.
So that means I could claim all the credit for it.
パクリ設定オツ。
I ignored Daru's retort, biting.
マユリ、大事な話があるから集まれ。
ここからでも聞こえるよ。
Why make her get up and come closer? You're right there within yelling distance.
聞こえるとか聞こえないとかの問題ではないのだ。これは我ら未来ガジェット研究所にとって、いや人類の未来にとって運命を左右する会議なのだよ。だからもっとこう秘密めいた感じというか企んでいる感じを出したい。
Also, someone admitted that they can hear us yelling out the window. So we need to talk quieter.
Furthermore, this is the most honest thing that he's said. It's important that we stare closely at the monitor and exchange dramatic lines. The atmosphere right now is too light, and part of that is BSG. Maybe you should have given that lecture about Young. It's all Mayuri's fault.
Don't you dare!
マユシーは悪巧みには参加しません。
Well, I can't have everything my way, and I did just get a really good one.
二人とも聞け。これより未来ガジェット研究所は緊急極秘作戦を発動させる。
We are paying attention. That's the point. Oh, he's not talking to us.
これは世界を影から操る巨大な闇との戦いの第一歩となるだろう。敵はセルン。世界的な研究機関でありながら邪悪な研究に見られた連中である。
Now, Billy, when you said, oh, he's not talking about us, since when did you join the Future Gadget Laboratory? Have you suddenly popped into a world line where you're inside a video game?
No, I think.
オーカリン、声でけえ。徹夜明けにはきついっす。
Let the man sleep.
Crap. I guess I am being too loud, but I'm not trying to be inconsiderate. I just want to be cool. Come on, guys.
The inconsideration is just a byproduct. I'm just so skilled at it.
That kind of ruins the whole secret feeling. Well, forget it. It's too late now. It's fine. They're bad. And the window's open, too. If Suzuha is down below, I'm sure she can hear everything, especially when like, I yell and point and shout out, Daru!
いいか。世界にマッドサイエンティストは2人いらん。奴らに先んじられる前に我らが出し抜いてやるのだ。
奴らって
奴らは奴らだ。
You know, them. Dun dun dun!
あのね、マユシーは全然わかんないよ。
Well, that's not that different from normal, so don't worry about it.
Basically.
つまり、この秋葉のどこかにあるという幻のレトロ PC、IBN5100 を手に入れる。
Watch out for it.
What? It's not gonna sneak into your room and try and knife you in your sleep.
Or will it?
I make a magnificent declaration, but Daru just rubs his eyes and Mayuri's focus returns to her book.
About costume designs.
Damn it! Is there anything you guys react to? It's like we're all in our own little worlds.
Maybe if you didn't act like this all the dang time, they wouldn't just brush it off as you acting like this all the dang time.
Be quiet, you!
How can you
Don't you understand a man's romance?
I'm not touching that one.
We've uncovered a massive conspiracy here. How come you aren't excited?
僕探すのはパス。マジで寝させてよ。それとセルンの中をもっと探りたい件について。
Don't these guys have like class or something at some point?
I would assume.
そうだったな。まあ、それができるのはダルだけなのだから、そっちは任せる。では、IBN5100 の捜索は、俺とマユリで。
無理だよ。
How would she even begin to help?
Well, that means he has to wander outside so that the other characters can attach themselves to him.
Of course.
コス作りもあるし、バイトもあるもん。
She just totally blew him off. She says that, but she certainly seems relaxed. It seems to me that she's probably really happy just to see Okarin happy.
Yeah. That was a strangled grunt.
But as nice and sweet as she is, you know, she can still tear him to pieces easily. So basically, you two were telling me this. I'm the only one with free time. I can't help but feel like I'm being insulted somehow.
いいだろう。この件は俺が何とかする。そうと決まった以上、俺のやり方に口出しは無用だ。わかったな。
Yeah, enjoy yourself. Have fun storming the castle.
また何か悪いことしようとしてる？
Not intentionally, but you know what they say about good intentions and the path to hell.
いや、口だけじゃね。
I leave my useless, hateful comrades behind and stride gallantly out of the lab. I bet he's very practiced with a gallant stride. I descend the stairs and step out onto the street. Only for a bicycle to barrel toward me from the direction of Kuramaebashi Dori and dramatically skid to a stop right in front of me.
I heard you were looking for the plot.
Hi, Okabe Rintaro.
So was she actually gone, or is she using her special time travel
It's
powers?
hooked up to the bicycle.
なかなかのテクだな。
自転車ってほんと楽しいよね。私、自転車乗るのってこの町に来てからが初めてでさ。
I mean, because they didn't exist in the world I'm from.
There's a whole bunch of 19th century, like, farming lives. Or so it was said.
初めて自転車に？
バイクはよく乗ってたんだけどね。
Ah, well, there you go.
It's similar.
I hate bicycles. They hate me. They are trying to kill me.
Okay, Calvin.
Since nobody is going to get that reference, in the absolutely brilliant comic strip Calvin and Hobbes. Calvin, the protagonist, a 6-year-old boy, well, one of the running gags was that he wanted to ride a bike and his parents wanted him to ride the bike and he needed to learn how to ride the bike, but every time he got towards it, it attacked him like a wild animal in his imagination, and because he was terrified of it because he was always hurt on it. That is my experience with bicycles. I have smashed into so many things, fallen down, that I just came to the conclusion that I'd rather walk. Just saying. I can't help but be restless. Every time my mind almost settles, it's filled with thoughts of the curious microwave experiments at the Future Gadget Laboratory.
今からバイトか?
How convenient. I guess she really was gone.
I don't buy it.
The Brown Tube Workshop's shutters are open, but the shop itself never opens until around 11 or 12. I don't know exactly when. Seems to change with Mr. Brown's mood. Not like there are people beating down the doors early in the morning to get an old CRT HD TV.
He must have some other job that gives him most of his income.
He's probably independently wealthy.
And this is just his hobby?
Yeah.
ちょうどよかった。お前に話がある。
The person who comes in and actually wants to buy his stuff is somebody that he wants to meet and talk to anyway.
Good point. Now he's going to grab Suzuha and drag her away from her job to help him look for the IBN.
Well, she may as well get paid for it. I mean, there's not going to be any customers.
これから開店準備しなきゃいけないんだよね。
このオンボロブラウン管屋に何を準備することがある?
I mean, even if they just left the doors open and somebody walked in and stole something, they wouldn't get anything out of it. For that matter, they walk in and be like, I don't want any of this. What am I going to do with it? Who am I going to sell it to? And they just leave.
ないね、全く。店の前をチャラチャラっと掃き掃除するぐらい。中は掃除しようとすると店長が怒るし。これが完璧な配置なんだよって。
So he's paying her to not clean. I'm doing everything wrong. This is the business that I want to get into. Not cleaning. Man, not cleaning and not working.
ならば話をさせてもらおう。
今すぐじゃないとダメな感じ?
My glare isn't very effective on anyone, really.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
She doesn't falter at all.
じゃあどうぞ。
You know, I guess it is effective on Luka-kun.
He's about the only one that
cares.
Yeah.
ただし、手短に頼むよ。
Oh, you can talk while you sweep the front stoop.
IBN 5100はどこにある?
不明。
昨日のお前の口ぶりは知っているように見えた。
That was pretty direct.
知ってるのは私の知り合いだってば。
Oh, yeah?
ならば、その知り合いのところへ案内してもらおう。嫌だとは言わせん。拒否すれば、お前はこの世の地獄を見ることになる。
Uh-huh, okay.
Sure, man, sure.
So didn't John Titor already obtain the IBN 5100 before coming to 2000?
I think so?
So he might already, if he's working with / against Titor, Titor might already have one. Or something.
Well, if he did, then Okarin just sent him data he can translate.
Huh.
無理。
Come on! I even said that I'd show you a living hell! I get one thing right and then I get shot down on everything else? Is it gonna be like this for the rest of my life?
Yeah, probably.
Where's Feyres? She never lets me down.
会いたくても会えないからさ。
どういう意味だ? まさか想像上の存在か。
死んだから。何年も前に。
Oh.
す すまなかった。
いいのいいの。まあそんなわけで私の持ってる情報そんなに大したことないわけ。むしろ私の方が教えてもらいたいぐらいだよ。
She is having way too much fun with this.
That look, that is like the best expression. It makes me just really like her.
Yeah.
おいバイト、まだ3日目なのに遅刻してんじゃねえ。
Late to your job of no work and no clean.
Now you hurry up and not work right this minute.
You hurry up and get in here and don't do anything. In fact, just get back out there and start doing something useful.
You just be an attractive girl in front of my shop to draw in customers.
ああ店長、ごめん、ちょっと朝から立て込んでてさ。
真面目にやらねえならいつでもクビにするからな。岡部もうちのバイトに手つけようとしてんじゃねえぞ。
Quit trying to take my part-timer away from work. You're introducing her to the bad habits of your laziness.
浴場しているのはあなたではないのか、ミスター・ブラウン。
おめえ、もしナエがいる前でそういうこと言ってみろ。マジで殺すからな。父親としての沽券に関わる。
I guess Nae is his daughter.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you over the sound of my arm that is the size of your head.
I believe the discharge of a gun is 145 decibels. 145 decibels is enough to cause permanent hearing loss. That's a...
Damon! I can't believe you made that joke and it was so good!
I actually thought it was kind of clever, yeah, okay.
That was really good! I'm so proud of you.
そもそもそんなしょんべんくせえガキに浴場なんかするかよ。
That's why I pay her to be here.
何を？店長、今の取り消して。
なんだよ、怒ったのか。
私はガキじゃない。一人前の戦士だよ。
Goodness.
あ？
And then Okarin, like, that line was specifically calibrated to get Okarin to work with her.
いい目をしているな、バイト戦士。現代人にはない野獣さながらのギラギラした輝きがある。
Part-time warrior.
Baito Senshi, that is awesome.
その目を忘れるな。そうすればお前は必ずやバイト戦士から真の戦士へとクラスチェンジできるだろう。
I know I mentioned it before, but he just has the happiest life.
He can just drift through his life like this.
And it seems like the fabric of reality around him is warped to fit his tastes. Actually, now that I think about it, it really is that, isn't it?
Kind of is, yeah.
っていうか、私はもう戦士なんだってば。
セルンとのラグナロックの暁には共に戦おうではないか。それまで精進するがいい。
I think you're mixing up your religious terms here. Ragnarok. In Norse mythology, the final war of the gods. Twilight of the gods.
Alternately, a lot of the connections we're drawing are synchronicitous.
I need to look at something. Okay, she's got different colored eyes. I thought maybe Suzuha was his daughter from the future, and that's why she chose this place as her cover, and that's why she might have been acting so familiar with Okarin, but her eyes are different color, so I don't think that's it. It was just a random idea that popped into my head.
I don't know, there might be something to that.
ラグナロック？何それ？
Allow me to explain!
セルンとの最終決戦だ。
そんなの起きる予定があんの？あるならぜひ参加するけど、聞いたことないな。
Yeah, the way she talks, the more she talks, the more all of it makes sense that, like, what she's here for.
Uh-huh. Meanwhile, Mr. Brown is like, go away, Okabe.
当たり前だ
Like, quit corrupting my
今
part-timer!
初めて明かしたのだからな。ラグナロックは俺が起こす。世界を作り変えるためにだ。
I will hew down the world tree and then eat the sun.
おー、岡部倫太郎ってば勇ましいじゃん。どうせ失敗するだろうけど、その心意気は好きだよ。
Are you going to sacrifice yourself to yourself next?
Yes.
私の仲間も君ぐらい気概があればよかったんだけどな。
Apparently, Suzuha has comrades.
You know, other people she time traveled with.
I'd like her to introduce me. That way, I can form my personal army, the Phoenix Crusaders! Wait a sec. Why does she assume I'll fail at Ragnarok? Hey, I think I might have been insulted just now. Looks like I need to instill the fear of Hoin Kyoma into this girl.
But not in front of Mr.
なん
Brown.
でうちの店の周りには変なやつばっか集まってくんだよ。ったく。
Look at a mirror, buddy!
アルバイト、いいからさっさと店に入れ。
はーい。じゃあね、岡部倫太郎。
She does address him with his full name.
Oh my god. It's from Ferris. I can't do a thing.
Dost thou desire chaos, nya? That's the kind of noise I think that face would make.
やはり一緒に探す気になったか。いいラボメン精神だ。
No, I'm just out to get supplies.
違うよ。お昼ご飯買ってこようかと思って。
Be careful, or Okarin needs to buy her the dang lunch himself.
He really needs to, after all the food shenanigans he's done.
だ
She really is a glutton. It's not even lunchtime yet. What? Why can't she subsist on 400 calories a day?
で、どこで買うつもりだ。
サンボの牛丼もいい
だが3部はこな時間だとまだ開店していないぞ。
I try to warn her, but Mayuri is no longer there. She's gone.
Poof!
Mayuri disappears like this every so often, and reappears on a stalk of bananas, fused to the stalk.
Oh god!
And we have to pluck her, and Jellyman?
No?
Oh. And each time she does disappear, I wonder for one terrible second if, and Billy has this look on his face right now, she really has vanished from the world.
What an interesting thing to say, Okarin.
I'm trying to think of the last time I played a visual novel with a reliable protagonist. Or, I'm sorry, reliable narrator. You knew what I meant.
Well, and visual novels are kind of the same.
I look around and see Mayuri standing at a distance. She's gazing up at the sky through the buildings. Here we go again. She stopped in the middle of the street so other pedestrians look at her, wondering what she's doing. But she doesn't notice their stares. She slowly reaches out to the sky as if entranced, and then, staring, burns the retinas out in her eyes and is permanently legally blind.
Oh god!
And then she freezes in that position. This is one of Mayuri's habits.
Like a cat sunning themselves.
I call it Stardust Akshu.
That's how you know it's a habit, because he gave it a name.
Stardust Handshake. Again with the names!
He does have names for a lot of things.
Well, you know, names have power. When you've given something a name, It's like you've quantified it and made it real in a way that it seems like it wasn't before.
Like naming a stuffed animal or something.
Yeah, it turns an impression into something more definite.
Yeah. The power of naming!
It turns an impression into something more definite. I guess I should get off the young kick and talk more about giant robots.
Why not both?
Xenogears is the only thing? I guess Ferris did just say, "Dost thou desire the power," or something like that, but... Mayuri says that she's liked looking at the night sky ever since she was little. Her reason is romantic, or perhaps childish.
星に届かないかなって思って。
When I asked her about it one day, she just smiled and gave that answer. At first, she only reached out to the night sky, but lately she's been doing it without regard to the time of day. Like now. Something inside her just seems to switch on. Honestly, it's a little crazy.
星なんて見えないだろ。
Well, I mean, the sun's a star.
Technicalities. I walk up to Mayuri and call out to her. She slowly lowers her hand with a blank smile on her face.
あのね、お昼でもお星様はそこにあるんだよ。
Grasping for something she can't even see?
哲学的なことを言うのは結構だが、道のど真ん中で立ち止まるのは危ないだろうが。
And stare at the sun.
そうだね。
Like my eyes are starting to hurt from that depiction of the sun.
そうそう。今、空を見てて思ったんだけどね。マユシーは今日のお昼はラーメンにします。
Like, my brain is interpreting my brain is interpreting this depiction of the sun as the real thing, so I'm trying to avoid staring at it.
Ah, that's pretty interesting.
How are ramen and stars even related? Mayuri's mind works in mysterious ways, but it doesn't really matter that much, does it? I mean, isn't this a Let's Play where these two guys are making all types of random observations far worse than ramen and stars?
Hey!
So why am I complaining about her?
11:58.
About noon.
I can't help but be restless. Every time my mind almost settles, it's filled with thoughts of the curious microwave experiments at the Future Gadget Laboratory and how weird they all are.
How weird they all are, the people or the experiments, but either way, how interesting!
I know, we've swapped narrators! I'm a scientist. It's only natural I'd get uneasy when I'm presented with a question that doesn't have an answer. So I suppose there's no use in thinking about it here. Right, the laundry.
I wonder how many of these there are gonna be.
I should probably take care of that. Oh, That was a brief interlude.
To remind you that one of the main characters exists, because I would assume that the main characters are...
I'd assume the three people that show up on the screen that pops up when you start the game. Okabe, Makise, and Mayuri.
Well, I would assume Daru, too.
Well, me too, but he wasn't on the startup screen, so I'm just saying.
I know I said I'd search for the IBN 5100, but truth be told, I have no idea where to start. Not like I can use Suzuha, my best lead. I know Daru's well acquainted with retro PCs, but is there anyone else?
Because Daru's in a coma.
Oh yeah, Shining Finger was obsessed with the IBN 5100, wasn't she? Hence that observation about female otaku loving the IBN 5100 and everyone around me seeming to treat me as though I'm extremely important because they're all time travelers. Every last one. I mean, this is like some Murder on the Orient Express stuff going on where every hypothesis is right.
What?
I mean, probably not, but I'm really reluctant to contact that male demon, though. But ultimately, my feelings are trivial. Ragnarok hangs in the balance. I don't know Shining Finger's phone number, so I'll just send her an email for the time being.
5 seconds later.
And then comes an email. It's from Shining Finger. Not even 5 seconds later. Call me.
Thanks for the email. I've been waiting. I don't like talking on the phone, so let's exchange emails instead.
That makes sense. What a predictable response. But I asked her to call, so why'd she reply by email?
Because it would take like an hour for her to get through 2 sentences.
She can't express anything in real life, but she's a normal, well-adjusted, real friendly, sociable person via text.
Her true face.
Wait, she wants it by email? Man, this is gonna take forever on my end. I guess the other way would, like Billy said, take forever on her end. There's a lot to cover. I'd rather not have to type it all out. I need to find out her phone number. I refuse to accept things the way they are, and instead will force my interpretation of everything on the world. Why are you looking at me?
Eyes narrow.
Give me your phone number along with any information you have on the IBN 5100. And send. Maybe say this is important, or thanks. How about a thanks?
Nah.
I look up after finishing my email to see a crowd of people in front of RowdyCon. I do notice that satellite is still manifested into the wall.
You'd think they'd have cordoned it off to try and remove it or something.
Or is this a new one, or a new world line where there's a new satellite embedding itself in the wall? Or rather, time machine ridden by aliens. Alien Suzuha from the moon. 5,000 years in the future, people live on the moon, you see.
I can believe that.
See, she's coming from the future of the world that John Titor is trying to save by defeating CERN, because she's like, far in the future, the world is terrible. But if I use my moon time machine, then I can go back and interfere with John Titor, which will interfere with CERN. And the point is...
No.
Okay. I guess people are still curious. Of course, the satellite is still there. It's not easy to move those, and who has authorization to do it?
It's not like they could just easily tromp up some construction equipment. That stuff takes planning.
Not 30 seconds pass before I get a reply.
助手か。ここで何をしている？
And now I'm going to ignore it and talk to Makise.
あのな、私がいつ助手になった？
And that's the same way she responded to it last time. Might even be the third one. Now, she looks like she'll snap at me, so to dampen her spirit, I snub her and go back to checking my email.
The ultimate pettiness.
Man, I hate it when somebody talks to me and messes with their phone. It's like if they have to finish what they're doing because it's important,
Or they just, like, wait a second.
Yeah, or they just want to, even if it's not important. Just like, tell me to wait. Modern world, get off my lawn!
I don't have anything. How about you, Moeka?
I told her to tell me her phone number, and she just ignored me by saying she had no information and seems to be inquiring about my own lead that I won't tell her anything about. Also, she had the face.
The little scowly face, yeah.
Well, Billy and I come from the generation of emoticons instead of emojis.
Yes.
So I never use them. Because I only use emoticons. Because I'm old and I don't change.
Get off our lawn.
I see. I had been wondering about Moeka's name. Because I'd never seen anything like it, and I was just wondering how you would read it.
Right.
The Moe part is that Moe.
The fire? The burning?
Oh, no. That was me being dumb.
Oh.
I'm saying like Moe.
Ah!
You know, like Moe.
I gotcha.
Don't you think that's weird?
So her name kind of means I'm Moe?
Kind of.
That is really strange.
なんで私、あんたに睨まれてるわけ？
I'm a glare at somebody!
気にするな。イライラしているのはお前が原因ではない。
That's just how he looks at everyone, honestly.
八つ当たりか。睨まないでよ。
お前だって以前、 俺のことを何度も睨んだだろ
You groped her.
それはあんたが変態行為を。
I see. Our protagonists.
いや、何も言うまい。
She did make that deal that if she stopped it, they would stop it.
Well, she did just follow up on it. She does have a... Her style of speech is a little pretentious. I'm trying to avoid getting into grammatical weeds, and I'm also not, like, super qualified to do it, but I can recognize it pretty well.
Right.
But it's pretentious, but not in the same way that it is with Okarin, maybe...
Like, Okarin talks like he's better than everyone, but she doesn't talk like she's better than everyone, but she talks like she's good? Or competent, maybe?
Formally self-important?
Formally self-important?
Another one!
Tell me the super hacker's address!
I want to snap my phone in half and throw it on the ground. What do you mean, tell me the super hacker's address? Are you making fun of me with that? You're not getting anything from me!
そんなに嫌なメールが来たの？
All communication with me, especially from beautiful girls, is unpleasant. Especially when they talk to me the way I like to be talked to. That's why I like you, because you don't do anything to appeal to me at all.
Opposites attract.
嫌というより常識外れなのだ
Defy common sense, he said, or miss common sense. I can't quite describe it in one word, that's why Damon just used 3. Stop sending me all these short emails! I'm begging you, just gather your thoughts and send everything together! As they talk past each other, I feel a little satisfied after sending that email.
それでクリスティーナここで何をしている
We have about 2 seconds before I get a response.
Christina, the zombie assistant.
Brains.
せめて呼び名ぐらい統一してほしいわけだが。私が何してたって別にいいでしょ。
It's laundry day.
なんだ何を拗ねている
拗ねてない。ただできればあんたとはもう関わり合いになりたくなかっただけ。
何をバカなお前はすでにラボメンなのだぞラブの利益のために働いてもらわないと困る
There is no escape.
Only the police can save you now. Or SERN.
好奇心に負けたあの時の自分を恨むわ。
It is amazing that she hasn't just killed him.
人工衛星を見に来たのか
まあね。信じられないと思わない？人工衛星って普通大気圏で燃え尽きるように軌道を計算して落とされるのに、あそこまで完全な形で残ってるなんて。
I know! It's almost like it just manifested out of nothing.
そもそもあれはどこの人工衛星だったのだ
That's very important information to know.
That's the most important thing. I thought there'd be more of a transition before they started to get into this.
まだ分かってないって。旧ソ連のものかもって噂だけど、ロシアは否定してる。おかげで撤去しようにもできないらしい。
Ah! If it is a foreign thing, then there's a lot more tape to go through.
Presumably, like the government would want to inspect it themselves.
Yeah.
I even said presumably, like, I mean...
100%?
Yeah, 100% that. So nobody can mess with it, so it's still in pristine condition, so they can, so all the investigators can get all the information they need.
Yeah.
So they can do this accurately. But even still, when a man is hunting for a cliffhanger of a scene to end on, that's just a bad idea in this.
Synchronicity.
You got me!